Hello, beautiful souls. It's Tara Koutman at the Woo Report, and I'm here with today's energy. Here's my painting, and here's the painting behind me. And I'm really sorry about this being late, but I am going to still do my commitments. This will be the 13th day. So I moved everything, as you can see, from my background, and this is where I'm going to place my spirit painting for the month. So what I'm going to do is work on this. I would like to get another camera so I could do some close-ups maybe. You know how the woodworkers and people work. I don't know if you've ever seen them. I watched a guy do jigsaw puzzles and stuff, and he's showing you how to do it. So he has a camera, right at his work. So that would be kind of interesting. And also there is, the time it took me to move everything. And last night was really I had pretty good energy yesterday. So I don't know what the energy report looks like of what happened because we will know when we look at the Schumann resonance. So I'm late with that, but I haven't looked yet. So once I'm done with the tarot reading, then we're going to go into the Schumann because this reading really is for the rest of the day past 10 o'clock. Because the energy we've already felt by the time that Schumann resonance comes out. So the guidance really is going to be for today. It'll track, and it should track to tomorrow's energy. So we'll kind of figure that out as we go, but how I'm doing it, it's like I'm just starting to figure out a flow for things. So last night also with the energies, I dreamt, like all made sense. And what I'm going to do when I do this dream was for the collective. I was with the collective. So in a college, in a school setting, and some things happened that reminded me of 9/11, really some strange things. And I'll share the dream and the interpretation so we can, as we go along, to also learn archetypes and symbology in dreams. I find that really important. And again, when you go to sleep in your dream time, remember to tell your subconscious people have to show up as themselves. So last night, my ex-husband was in my dream. So that's kind of interesting. Well, my ex, I really kind of have an ex right now, but we're not, we haven't went through the process of divorcing and still living on the same property, but he has a different house on the property, and I live in the main house. So with that, all that TMI, but just a little bit of who I am and what's going on in my life, and there's been a lot of changes, and I just want to take these challenges and get through them with the most grace and humanity and humility and all those things that I can muster. Because before I do readings for the collective, I do a reading for myself. And yesterday was like, it was kind of scared me, but it was like death. I do the not Alex, Crowley. I do his deck, Aleister Crowley's deck. And it's really based on a lot of old symbology and stuff. It's really, really a neat deck, but it's really deep. But the layout is really neat. In the right hand corner is like things you can't change. And one of those was death. And I'm like, oh gosh, I have a chronic condition, cancer, in case anybody wants to know. And it said death. And I'm like, oh God, that's scary. But then I'm like, that could come up in anybody's reading because none of us know. None of us are promised tomorrow. So none of us know when that's going to happen, but it is going to happen, like death and taxes. I don't know, taxes, there could be a time when you get out of them, like if there's total anarchy and all that. So, but death, no, you are not going to escape death. So, that's kind of interesting about the energies going on. So I got through all that, my own energies out. And then when I did my dream before that even, and when I was writing down my dream, I got the download or the information that this is to share. And it could be about what's going to happen. I'm a prophetic person, And, God, energy, universe, works with me in that way, in certain ways. So that's one of the ways is dreams. Also in writing, drawing, talking, light language. I think I talked about that before, speaking in tongues and all that. So since I'm late, I don't know if anybody's going to watch this. I don't have very many views and no subscribers. So please subscribe. And one of my things is what I want to do is, have giveaways of the energies painting of subscribers and things like that. So that's one of the future things I would like to do. So that's that. So let's get on to the reading. I'm going to move this over here. We'll keep it in mind. We'll keep you in mind. Pretty painting. I really like the colors. I got to make sure I don't muddy it up, because a lot of times if I start working on a painting, I will muddy it up. And then I get mad at myself. Why did you touch it? Okay. So here's the reading. And we come up with the Nine of Swords. And that card, it was in the, we'll go over that, but it was in the September's reading. I should have like little notes here. It wasn't, I have these notes, but not real. Well, I have some notes. Okay, so I do have some notes. So the Nine of Swords again. Where did I put it? I didn't put where it fell into that reading of September's. You could look at it. It was the second. And I don't have my notes on all of what that meaning is, but it's the Wheel of Fortune is this week. And I'm going to try to get better at this, so bear with me. The technical aspects and in moving it really, frustrated me. Okay, so my video, our tarot draws is going. I'm not talking about it. We need to pause it. Okay. Pause. Okay, so the Nine of Swords is in the first position, and it's the root of how we're feeling right now, and the core is feeling anxiety, overthinking, sleeplessness. It fits what we're saying about staying up late last night. I stayed up late last night, and I'm waking with intense dreams. This card is the night mind. So, the worry and the stress that happens at night. Well, last night I had a conversation with a daughter, who's not living here. And then I had to do something, pick my son up from the bus, who does stay with me. Usually he finds the bus home, but somehow he got on the wrong bus and da 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 da. Between talking to them and picking up my son, I stayed up later than normal, so I got up later. I don't like the stress of an alarm clock, and if you don't have to have an alarm clock, I would suggest you don't. But that means sometimes I might, run into trouble if I'm doing these reports and they're supposed to be out quickly. If I was more efficient, I probably could have got something done by 10 o'clock. But the fact that last night I also moved everything and my speaker wasn't working, and I hope my microphone's working. I hope this all isn't a, a, a bust. So I hope it all works out. My tests worked fine. So, my test of the emergency broadcast system, it worked. So hopefully the sound's coming through. So with all that, it caused me to stay up later and then get up later and all that. So it's very stressful for your mind and your body not to be on a natural clock. So the circadian rhythm is really important, and I think that was part of some of my illness was due to the fact that I worked at Amazon. That was all night. It was 10 hours, 4 hours a day, and then on your days off, I still wanted to sleep all the time. My rhythm was so off. And I worked there for about 2.5 years, and it was a kind of interesting experience. And some people want to know what to do, so how to get a little bit ahead. I was just trying to find easier jobs. And it is not a place for old people. I mean, I could do the work and everything, but not as well, of course, as younger people. But I wanted to work my way into, I became ambassador, which You don't get paid anymore for that, for being a trainer, but you do get to do, sit more, train more, and that kind of thing. And I did get into hazmat. I don't know if that had anything to do with my cancer, but I don't know. I tried to wear gloves, but all my life I've gotten into like chemicals, like work painting, doing finishing work on some furniture pieces. I love doing that. And I didn't wear masks or gloves as much as I should have on some things. So we're just over exposed to chemicals. So when you can wear gloves, when you're using toxic chemicals, please do so. So we have the current vibration is the Two of Swords. So the root is Nine of Swords, not so great for what's going on. I mean, going forward even. So this is for energy past today. So this wasn't last night, but it does have some of the collective energy is like a continuum. That's why I want to bring up the monthly draw that we did and the with the weekly stuff and yesterday's because it is a continuum. And I want to circle back and say, let's do a postmortem at the end of September. I'll have my painting finished. I haven't even started doing the detail work. Excuse me. Because I don't want to pick anything yet. I don't want to pick a side. Okay, I'm going to have to stitch this up. I had to take a break for a minute and grab more water. So, the current vibration going forward past 2 o'clock, I'm sorry, 10 o'clock. So now, our current vibration is the Two of Swords. And this energy is indecision. You need to pause before choosing. With the Nine of Swords, it shows that anxiety is coming from not knowing which path to commit to. And that's kind of interesting. So I've already, went through the cards and stuff. So I find that really interesting with some of the other cards. So then the challenge is the Three of Wands. And the challenge is to look forward with faith, not fear. The card urges you to expand vision, but 9 plus the Two of Swords show how hard that is when you're stuck in hesitation. And this card also shows that help is on its way. We're by ourselves. Not really, because help is waiting. We just have to go forward. What's that scripture? Faith without works is dead, meaning you have to go forward. You have to work. You have to step, do what you can do. Oh, my asthma and allergies. Oh, so bad. I was doing yard work and I live in the Seattle area and it's so moldy and just mossy and not good for any kind of lung condition. Anyway, the challenge is the Three of Wands and the card urges us to expand our vision. But we have those cards make it kind of hard, indecision and the anxiety and the worry. And then with the outlook, we have the world. The world card. So the world card, despite tension, the path opens towards completion and integration. So that's good. I love this outcome card. The outlook and the outcome card. Today is about seeing cycles closing and wisdom gained. So kind of like, okay, we can get through this. Here's what I need to do. I'm going forward. I freaking have 8 hands, 8 arms. We can do this. So I love this card. Really pretty. I love this deck, the Dream Keepers deck. I love it's all her interpretations. Liz Houston, it's wonderful. I would like them to be higher quality. They are like thin, but that's a lot of decks. Her book is nice. It's not falling apart. Some books fall apart easier than others. So her book is nice. It's not in color, but it looks like this. And on the inside, it does have a card, but they're not all that clear, not color. So, but really a a nice, well done. It's not falling apart yet, even though I've been using it. Okay, so that's the world card. And then we have the hidden card, which is the unknown forces in our lives working. It could be like governments, community, like our local communities, something going on in our families that we don't know about, something cooking, something in our subconscious, just the hidden card. And that's the bottom of the deck. That a lot of people use this as a part of like a foundation or a hidden foundational thing. So the Five of Wands shows that conflicts may surface today, but more like creative friction or competing priorities than destructive fighting. The clarifiers, the Crow card, is the Moon. I love this card. It's really pretty. I love the Crow deck too. And hers is really simple, or his. I don't know who MJ Kulane is. It's a tiny book. And her book, really tiny, no picture, so it's very most simple book. But her cards are bigger and really nice. They're a nice quality, as you can see, just the colors. It's really a pretty deck. So what's not in this bigness, the quality and the beauty of the cards really make up for it. So with the Moon is our clarifier. And I also did the Empress. I pulled two just to get a better feel, because the Moon is dreamy and foggy and what the hell does it mean kind of thing. So I thought, okay, I'm going to clarifier. So the Moon emphasizes dream work, illusion, and subconscious material. So hopefully we're going to go more into dream time tonight. Going forward, this shows me that we should be, because this is a clarifying card. So exactly what came up in my dreams last night. So hopefully that's going forward. Sometimes my dreams are forward, not necessarily the current energy or the current thing. So it's like when I feel something or I know something, oh, tomorrow someone else does or makes that connection kind of thing. So, okay, the Empress is grounding us all and nurturing creativity and fertile growth. So that's nice. We got some nice clarifying cards. The Moon is nothing to be, afraid of. But when you look down, you see the ravens looking down and seeing a caged raven. So that's kind of not good. You're caged up. So her interpretation was really, really cool about the Moon. To it's a dreamlike state, looking down. Okay, so here below the crow there's a pond, which represents the subconscious mind, with the caged raven symbolizing her wild side that she attempts to restrain. So do not attempt to restrain. We talked about that yesterday, about the mask we wear, and that is not going to get us anywhere, because our individuality and our authenticity, that is really the important part about our soul's growth, and even our wealth and our riches, believe it or not. The Moon asks, what are you concealing? Learning to recognize and accept all the parts of our being, even the components that may be considered weakness, is essential for being whole. So yeah, with our mask we try to hide our weak points and bring out the pretty parts, and all the kind of things that masks represent. So this was a really informative reading. And let's look past the last 2 days. So today's draw, we'll turn off the tarot reading clip. This was today's draw, with the Crow and Empress, clarifying cards, Nine of Swords, Two of Swords, Three of Wands, the World. The World is the outcome, or the outlook for the collective, And the Five of Wands was the hidden. So yesterday's here. So let's look past the across the last 2 days. And a clear thread emerges. This was September's draw. The moon. Yesterday, the moon sat in the outlook position. Here's the moon. And today it was in the clarifying. So that was it. And the world now sits in the clarifying position today. So that's kind of interesting. We're getting more clarity and more integration and can do more. I mean, we have 8 hands today, or which would be outlook for tomorrow. Which a day past 10. So we'll see the energy in tomorrow's reading. So we don't know what it is. So this is a prediction of today. It can be validated with tomorrow's energy, and I hope it all goes, the way I think it should. So today the world appears in that same position, completion and integration. Okay, so yeah, the moon yesterday was fog, illusion, the uncertainty of navigating shadows. So with the Wheel of Fortune as our weekly anchor, here's our weekly anchor over here. Right under me is the September draw. So this week it's the Wheel of Fortune. We see a cycle turning, shadow moving towards wholeness. So that's this week we've seen the shadow of the moon on the first or the second, and then this one. So the world, so that's really good. And the swords remain prominent though, and I don't like the swords. And the collective reflecting an ongoing struggle of the mind, anxiety, indecisions, and the weight of choices. Yesterday's hidden chariot showed the willpower to steer forward, while today's hidden Five of Wands reveals the friction of conflict. The Dreamweaver's imagery shows that the mask burnt away in the Five of Masks that I found interesting, because I've been on a knowledge of delving a little bit deeper into the knowledge of the mask archetype and how we use that mask, and needing to remove that to be authentic and to move forward in our soul path. So the Dreamkeeper's imagery shows the mask burnt away. I mean, this woman doesn't even have a face. And this one right here, no face, burnt off, floating down here. But the scary thing is someone can pick it up. All right. So it shows willpower to steer forward, while today's hidden Five of Wands reveals the friction of conflict. The Dreamkeeper's imagery shows the mask burnt away, face aflame, and it in the water, floating there. An archetype of exposure, the raw struggle that surfaces when ego and competition collide. And this card can mean political differences and struggles too. So it's really interesting. And Aristotle said that a man is a political animal. It's a long time ago. I don't know how long. It's an interesting factoid for any nerds out there. How long ago was it? And who was first? Socrates? I think Socrates and then Aristotle. I know Socrates had a woman teacher, or Aristotle did, one of the first, whoever was first. And that was interesting, some of the things that I learned where women aren't given credit. I couldn't believe that women were Renaissance painters. Who knew? Anyway, so an archetype of exposure, the raw struggle that surfaces when ego and competition collide. Man is a political animal, said Aristotle. Conflict is woven into the way we live together. And Nietzsche's reminder echoes here: be careful who you choose as your enemy, because that's who you will become. Yeah, that's who you'll become. And they also show us that your friend, Nietzsche also said, I don't know the exact quote, but your friend, your enemy is also your best friend, because that is what you will become. Not what you become, but that's what strengthens you. And then he said, but a warning to that. So I didn't write down my notes very well. uh, with the Aristotle quotes, but those were in the. She mentioned those in the five of wands, 5 of wands. So man is the political animal, and where's the Nietzsche? Her Nietzsche quotes. She puts quotes in here, which is it's wonderful because love your enemies. Nietzsche said, love your enemies because they bring out the best in you. He also gave a warning. Be careful who you choose as your enemy because that's who you become most like. So this is from she has lots of quotes in here, so it's really a nice, a nice deck. I really like her depth of understanding of the energies and things like that of these cards. And it makes it easier to remember if you get some imagery that you like. It makes it so much easier to want to delve deeper into the symbols and the meaning of the cards. So get a good deck you like. And I like getting different ones. And I hate getting rid of things. I'm like a hoarder, but when the good hoarders, lots of things that my children probably don't want. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So with that, the cards remind us that the struggles surfacing now are not catastrophic, but initiatory. They can be overcome, and they strengthen us through adversity. So yeah, the 5 of Wands is like petty hassles, political little arguments, games people play, things like that, and not serious life or death matters. We can get through those. So the this is the tarot's guidance for today. Oh, geez. I am really tired, so I don't know if the nap is in store or doctor. So that's the guidance for today. So I will be right back. I'm going to see how the energy is today, the Schumann resonance. I haven't, and it's 11:46, so I'm like a couple hours late, and I'm really sorry about that. Getting my new studio set up. It's kind of the same, but I am liking that I can have my painting, and I would like it closer up, but we'll see. I need some room behind me to get around, to get to my computer and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see if I can't get a camera and get that closer up. So I'll be right back, and I'm going to append the energy to this. Hello, I'm back for the energy part of the reading. Sorry it's taken so long again. I apologize for the delay in this reading. Again, I moved my studio. Today this half I turned the photo. I don't know if I like it. It's just like, too much blue dots. I don't know. I have to really study and see, what's in there for me and what's the best way to proceed. So I'm not there yet. So still indecisive about where to go with the painting. So anyway, the Schumann chart was updated at 10. Again, it's 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And we see that right in here. 10 a.m. yesterday and to 10 a.m. today. 10 a.m. today at 17 UTC. So from 17 UTC to 17 UTC. So the chart looks really interesting, and from an abstract point of view, it looks like, a bird in flight or birds in flight, with people here, or just one big bird. Maybe our wings are going to expand over the night, because you can see how they start off like a wing, but these kind of look like people right in here. I look at them like spirits. Like even these ones here looks like angelic almost. So I don't know. Some of this that reminds me of angelic souls coming in. They say this new light. Darkness isn't going to be able to. We're going to have a new age because all this light that's coming in and this energy, and demonic forces aren't going to be able to survive. Up on the horizon, it's going to be all light. And that was part of the golden age. We're coming back to those kind of energies. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be different and novel, but it will be a golden age for humanity. And I can imagine how interesting it's going to be and novel it's going to be with AI. So I'm looking forward to the future, and I know it's going to be good. God works for our good. We always have to know that all things work for our good. Okay, so let's look at the energies of the last 24 hours. The Schumann field has been highly active, oscillating almost nonstop, and the strongest urge came just after midnight UTC, which is about 5 p.m. yesterday. So I do have a power chart here, and you can see it right there. The biggest surge was about 5 o'clock. It doesn't necessarily look like the biggest, but I suppose it's this right in here. Let me see. Let me get my cursor on the right thing. 5 o'clock right in there. So you can always, do the math at 17. So you'd go 17, which would be 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get in the same place. But let's see if okay. I think they have it right in there. Well, right after this guy in here. That seems really powerful, but I guess that is not, the recording doesn't show it. It shows it a little past him in here. So that still wasn't, it was only 28, so not that powerful. That was the sharpest peak. And after that, the field settled into frequent but lighter movements. We had spikes a bit before 11 p.m. at 20. And at 20 UTC. So let's see. 20 UTC would be. Let me see, where am I? UTC and the time thing is really, really confusing to me. So it's the left brain not wanting to work with my right brain. Which is about 5 p.m. yesterday, with the power reached about 28. It was about 5 p.m. yesterday. And then after that, the field settled into more frequent but lighter movements. We had spikes a bit before 11 p.m. at 20 power. And you see that on the power 20 chart. And then we had a higher peak at 22, spike a bit after 3 a.m. So I'm thinking of that 22 chart. Between those two, I think is when I had the heavy dreaming state. I had a real long dream. I want to get it into an interpretation because I felt like it was for the collective. And it would be really important if I got that out as a warning. It seemed like a kind of like a warning, or a, oh, if this, then that kind of a thing. I don't know. We'll see if I can get that out today. So the waking hours started some more of the red energetic static. You can see in here, these are the waking hours, like 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, before 17 UTC. So this was the end of yesterday's, the end of the charts energy reporting here would be 10 a.m. our time. So we've already lived this. And now the future is going to be like my guidance cards. So my draw today would be tomorrow's energy, and my yesterday's draw would be reflecting this energy that we already seen. So let's go forward with that and just see how that goes. I'm gonna see where the tarot draws at. I thought I put them nicely into a little folder. I did. If I can find the folder. Excuse me. So with that, we can see that that intensity, well, yesterday's oscillating energy, it matches up beautifully with the Nine of Swords showing up as yesterday's guidance as a root cause. The root card and the collective is processing, unsettled thoughts, worry, and dream residue. So then we're waking into the ripple of that energetic surge, um, with the obviously the Knight of Wands, and then I should have did better notes because it really is a really good flow. Um, the Knight of Wands, we're waking up to that ripple, and I really want to see my cards, and they're so tiny. I don't want to do all of them, just yesterday's. And that would be this energy right in here that we're talking about, yesterday's energy, until 10. So from 10 o'clock last night to 10 o'clock this morning, the energy already lived, and the guidance I gave you for that energy would have been in yesterday's draw. So yeah, then it turned into, her cards are so light. The Queen of Wands. Yeah, so the Queen of Wands. Yeah, we can deal with these things, and we have to, and do it wisely. And then we had the Moon, which is the foggy. That was like the outcome of yesterday, the fogginess and dreams. And then we had the Chariot, going forward and finding clarity. So with today, if you're feeling a bit edgy or foggy, know that it's not personal. The field itself is shaking. The guidance from the cards reminds us to step back, breathe, and move forward towards clarity as the wheel turns forward. And that was this week. For this week of September was the Wheel of Fortune. So here we have, this is today's guidance. Today's draw. And to guide us forward, today's cards remind us that the Nine of Swords calls us to face our worries. The Two of Swords asks us to choose clarity. The Five of Wands is the challenge, but we can find harmony within oneself, and aid will come from the collective. So even though it seems like we're by ourselves, we can find clarity and help us on the way. The world assures us that the cycles are completing, even in the midst of struggle. The hidden Five of Wands shows conflict. The path may seem dreamy and foggy and murky, but the Empress offers healing if we practice creativity and care. Because yesterday we had the Moon during our dreamy time. But today that is moving a little bit differently, and we'll see how the energies line up to this tomorrow. So this will be guidance from 10 a.m. today till 10 a.m. tomorrow. We don't know really what energy is going to show us. So I did do an affirmation for today. It should just cover everybody up. Next time I'm going to put it on top. Oh, I don't want it on top, do I? No, I don't. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so dream residue. That's the daily affirmation. Kind of changed up a little bit from when I created this image to when I was doing my notes. So I stand at the threshold of change, where dream residue aid my healing in both the dream world and the waking world. Conflict becomes teachers. The conflict in both those worlds become our teacher. Even in the midst of the foggy struggle, I find the threads of spiritual growth weaving me closer to becoming my authentic self. So this completes my energy flow today. May the resonance and the cards guide you gently forward until we meet in the next turning of the wheel. I thank you, and I hope you subscribe and come back. I appreciate you. I will do that dream interpretation as soon as I can. I want to do it as soon as possible because it was possibly a prophetic dream. So really important. So see you soon.